Don't call me Kilo. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Sorry. There's
You're excused about. No, I'm just kidding.
mhm. All right, so we
Okay.
should be live now. Now we're live.
No.
We definitely are.
Okay. You say so.
Yep. We are. I'm looking at the
All
page
right, we're
right
live. We're live. Welcome to us being
now.
confused.
Yep. So we should be live now. All
Yeah,
right, your sound is coming. That's loud.
calmed it. I calmed it. Don't worry.
All right, cool. So, hi, we're Bob and Kilo live on my channel
We
here.
already fucked it up. Good job.
No, we're good, man. So anyway, what we're doing here.
Don't use my real name, but that's okay.
Oh, well, I can't call. I can't call you that.
It's fine.
Okay.
It's okay.
All right. All right. Anyway, we're mixing songs, mastering songs. I've got a master. Kilo's gonna master a track from my forthcoming new album, but we're also comparing. We're sharing some new ideas and songs with each other first. So this is one I'm working on right now. It's a remix of my song "Queen of the Nile." So now, "Queen of the Nile" is a song from my Blue Light Volume 2 album and which I'll show in a minute because it spawned a conversation with Keel and I. So, Queen of the Nile was actually a rewrite of my song Pocket Full of Pieces, which we
I'm
did a couple of years
apparently
ago.
very dumb that I don't remember this. And also,
Yeah.
I thought Pocket Full of Pieces was a song for a different artist on our label. So
Right. Yeah. No, Pocket Full of Pieces
totally
was one of
different.
mine, and it was an experiment where I took a bunch of pieces. It's called Pocket Full of Pieces because I took a bunch of 8 bar like samples of myself playing parts that all matched together, and then I mixed it all up and made it a song with those bits. And then I ended up recording it like a live song and with live instruments, and I ended up calling Queen of the Nile because it changed a lot. And then now I'm remixing it. So now this is the Queen of the Nile. We're currently called the Deep House Mix, but only because I put a it's house like beat on it. I'm not sure what kind of house it's going to be when it's done, but here we go. Can you hear that? Yeah. You don't hear it? Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know. Why wouldn't you hear
Drink
that?
water, everybody. Water is good for you.
Oh, I didn't. That's because I didn't have. I'm glad I asked. I didn't have the
I
sound
am
for
glad,
positions
but I
on.
would have
Yeah.
told you. Don't worry.
Yeah. It's that silly setting that is really hard to find because
No, no,
I'm
no.
not very bright. Okay, now you'll hear it. You ready?
Mhm.
Are you ready? Yeah? All right. Let's see. All right. I want to pause it there because that part is cool. So that part, and I won't play the whole song. I want to play this part, and then we'll go to the original so I can show you that. But anyway, this part here, what we're about to hear, the sound is it's a sample of a koto, a Japanese string instrument. But the actual notes are what I did is I took. I'll show you the original guitar track, which is guitar. Oh, what did I do? Guitar. Okay, it's probably this guy here. I think it's probably this guy here. Show and make active. So this was yeah. Here we go. So this was the guitar track, right here, and I took that. So you can see there that there are these little dots. I ran this Melodyne plugin on it that basically converted all the notes into MIDI notes. So that became.
That's great.
So that's pretty cool. That's what I did. So I took the guitar out because I just want to have the Kodo doing its thing there now. So I'll hide and then make it inactive, and then I'll play that part. There we go. So that's where the current status of the remix. It doesn't do a whole lot beyond that. That's kind of the idea so far. But I'll show you. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay, cool. And we'll just do real quickly. I'll show you the original and the original. So the first version was a pocket full of pieces and I released it as a single a couple years ago. And then I put it on the Yang album, and here it is. And this is all loops. This is me sampling myself, right? Except it's not working. Why isn't it working? Play. But if I can't play this right now, well, screw you. Oh, I know why. Because this weird sound business here. Oh, you know what? I'll do this. Oh, hold on. Hold, please.
You could let me share if you want. Now we can't hear anything. We don't hear Bob. Bob, we do not hear you.
You do now.
We do now.
You do now. Okay, cool. And now this should work now too. So let's see.
Nope.
You didn't hear that?
Nope.
That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense.
That's
all right.
my response to most things all day. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, well, let's check this out. Let's open Spotify back up. Because you definitely should hear that. No doubt. No doubt about that. But Spotify's weird, so maybe it's just Spotify. Let's see.
You could play it on SoundCloud. No. Definitely no.
Yeah.
Did you share sound when you shared again?
What?
Nothing. We can hear you at least, so I'm not just sitting here talking to the ether. That's good.
Right.
Do you want me to share it?
It just doesn't make any sense.
I understand that.
I
I know it doesn't make any sense, Bob. Technology doesn't make any sense half the time.
This'll work. This'll work. All right, you ready?
I'm
I
ready.
got it now. I got it now.
You got it now. You don't got it now. I think we did this without the Zoom on one time earlier today, and I was like, this feels like I'm in a comedy. Well, now I did it again. Whatever that was, do that thing you did earlier. Nope.
Why?
There we go.
Now it's back? What did I do? All right. All right. Well, anyway, I don't know what that. Can you hear me still?
Yes.
Okay. And you can hear the sound now.
Not right this very
No,
moment.
no, it's not. Yeah, it's not on right now. But yeah, that's crazy. It should
That's
not.
awesome.
I don't know what I did. But anyway,
I
here we
don't
go.
give a fuck what you did. Just do it again.
Just randomly hit a bunch of buttons. So anyway, this is the original. This is Pocket Full of Pieces. It was that song that you don't even remember what the remix sounds like now, but this is the original. And it's just like 4 chords. In the newer version, I wrote like another part and everything. And I made it faster. This is kind of slow.
This is before Bob had like drums and stuff.
That's right. Yeah, there's fake. I'm playing fake congas. You You can hear congas, but they're sampled. So anyway, yeah, that was the original. And then
And it is slow as fuck.
it is slow as fact. Yeah, all my stuff was pretty slow back then. I've kind of
You just said back. I
I've
haven't heard
sped
that
my
word
shit up
since
with the new
fucking
stuff.
Christian school.
What are you talking about Christian
You
school?
said fac.
FAC.
I
No,
don't
I
know.
didn't say anything about FAC. I don't know what
Okay,
that means.
fair enough, Bob.
What the fact does that mean?
That's exactly what you said earlier.
There's
Uh,
So this is the Blue Light Volume 2 version, and I renamed it the
this
Queen
is
of the Nile.
phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
So that's the song that's getting
Was
remixed.
that the one that I did a lot to make the Udu stand out by side chaining the bass to the Udu?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe. I don't
fair
know.
enough.
I don't
How
know.
many songs do we have with the Udu?
A few at this
Okay,
point. No.
then
Yeah.
maybe not.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's what then now Bob will show you from the new thing.
What am I showing now?
Show the remix again, Bob.
Oh. Okay.
Again,
Show the remix again. Oh, I got to do the
it's just
thing.
really good to see the stages
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
like
I hear you. I just got to
we
switch my sound.
reuse stuff all the fucking time. Me and Bob at least. We just do what Hollywood does with original
Okay.
IPs like Star Wars and
Okay.
um
Ah. Hold on.
yeah.
All right, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Is there anything else we are supposed to hear?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
I had to switch the audio. You can see the mixer on the screen, so I had to switch things around to get Pro Tools to work. That's the trick. That's what it's all about, is getting
I
Pro
know.
Tools to
I'm
work for you.
sorry that I had the idea to play it again, but I
That's
did.
okay. That's okay. But
Because I
it's
really like it. And honestly, even though I worked on both of those other songs, when he played this morning, I don't know what time it is, wherever everybody's watching it, but this morning, when he played this for me, I definitely did not recognize it and go, oh, we're remixing a song. I would just thought he had a new song.
right, right, right. Well, because yeah, it starts off very differently for one thing, with the whole
I said it immediately reminded me of like an 80s drum loop, like pop thing, kind of like Michael Jackson type of drum loop. But it's not a drum loop. That's what's exciting about it. It's like it's real drums that he's playing in the background.
Yeah, well, yes, with the exception of I mean, I'm adding a house beat on the kick drum onto there. That's the whole point. Adding a here, you'll see. So yeah, it's not a loop except for the loop that I added. I added
Not a loop
a
until
kick.
it is. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the loop is like 16 bar. It's like a 16 bar section where I'm playing the kick drum. But you'll see. But I wanted this. I wanted to see where my. Why don't I ever? Why doesn't anything work, Kilo? There we are.
To ask my legs that.
Oh, ho, ho,
Ho 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 ho
ho,
ha
ho, ho.
ha ha
All
ha.
right. Well, we're live here, I think. Okay. We're just gonna
We
go
are
with that.
definitely live
Yeah.
up.
All right. I just kind of yeah, we're good. I just kind of like to make sure it's working. All right. So this is
What's
the
the
remix.
worst that can happen is we're just sitting here talking to ourselves like we're talking to other people.
That's
It's
right.
not
That's
like
it,
something
which is what
bad
we're
will
doing,
happen.
right? Yeah, yeah. All right. So you ready?
Yeah.
You hear it?
No.
Oh my
Push
God.
the button on Zoom, Bob.
What's
Push the
that?
button on
Oh, the
Zoom.
button on Zoom. There's too many things to remember.
That's what I'm here for.
There's too many things to remember. How do you do the? Oh, come on, mother.
Welcome to the You're Probably Having a Better Day Than Us show, where Bob and Kilo get confused.
No, it's just I don't understand why it's so hard.
Oh, God.
All right, hold on a
We're
second.
really not that frustrated right now.
Oh, but
Just,
I gotta
well, I'm
switch.
not. Never
I
mind. I
gotta.
can't say we.
I'm
I'm
just
not.
nuts. I'm just nuts. Okay. Switch to phone audio. Why do I continually lose this setting? Why do I continually lose my shit here? I don't know why I can't find it. So, do you know what I'm talking about?
Not finding the button on the Zoom.
Yeah.
It's up in
Okay.
the right corner, Bob.
But it's gone. That's what I'm saying. Zoom hates me. I audio. Oh, I want to scream.
Okay, let's not hear the remix.
No, I want to. I want things
That's
to
a
work.
good fix to this
I want
problem.
things to work. Oh, I know what I did wrong. It's my fault. It's my fault. There you go. My fault. I turned off the ability to do that. Now, why would you have that ability to turn it on and off in different
There it is.
ways?
I know
There
it's
we
there.
go.
I can hear myself.
I just want to play the Kodo part again. All right, here we go with this part. So anyway, that's that. What I'm gonna do now, not right now, but what I'm gonna do next on this is basically start taking things out at different spots. You know, because like with the remix, I want to I want to like highlight. You know, because there's a lot of cool stuff that happens. A lot of cool. There's some nice piano parts that get kind of, you know, the original is groove, so it's like everything's just kind of together and vibing. But if you take little bits out, like there's some really cool stuff in there. I did some neat stuff on piano, just a lot of cool percussion stuff. So I figured with the remix, if I got the bass line of the beat going, right, and then I could bring other shit in and out and be like, here's a little conga solo, you know what I mean? And then here's other stuff. So that's the idea. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. And while we still have the Pro Tools open, before we switch to you in Ableton, you want to see the other thing I was working on. This is
Yes,
any
we
boy.
do.
All right, because so a few nights ago, at like 2 a.m, and if anybody wants to, they can go back and watch the video where I sat there for like 3 hours in the middle of the night and made a weird song called Hypnagogia. And so hypnagogia is a term, or hypnagogia or hypnagogic, whatever term you want to use, but it's the term for that space that between being when you're awake and asleep, when you're in that space in between consciousness and unconsciousness as you're falling asleep. That's hypnagogia. So you do some, you know, your mind goes into some wild places at that time. And so I was in that space basically because it was like 2:30 in the morning, and I was up till like 4:30 working on this. Yeah, man. And I found
So
so
comforting.
it's awesome. And I started the song because I was just like bored, and I opened up my tracks and I looked and I saw that I had a track, a session, a Pro Tool session from like November called Hypnagogia. And I was like, oh, that's because it's a word I like. And I opened it up and it had this trippy bass line. So I started with that. So I will play. I don't really remember it, to be honest with you. I don't remember what it sounds like. So we're just going to play what I did from the beginning. Here we go. Right, yeah. I already have an idea for the bass line.
What do you mean? There is so much space there, Bob.
What's that?
There's so much bass.
Oh, I know. No, I mean I'm gonna change the bass line so it goes like do 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 do, and it should just go like do 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 or something. Change there.
Yeah.
Like there's a little piano riff, little electric piano riff right here that I'm gonna not here. You'll hear it right here. That do 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 do. Like I think that would be a cool bass transition. I could make the bass line do that. That do bo do 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 do.
Compliment they do the bass right there. It's now if you maybe that piano out of there, made it into the bass line.
That's what I'm saying, right? Exactly. Yeah. And honestly, I mean, that's as simple as where is
what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. I just gotta find it here. It's right here. So like if I did this is fun. All right, so let's see. I will take that 4 bars right there and separate it and cut it. And then I'll take the bass. Why does it just say MIDI? That must be the bass line. It must be the bass line. It's funny, I just called it MIDI. Because I probably wrote it, you know.
My tracks.
Oh, I always do, yeah. Well, because I export my tracks to you, so I got to name them so that I know,
Right.
so that you know what you're getting, you know. Anyway, all right. So I'm gonna take this and say paste. All right. So it's an octave higher, so I'm gonna drop it down here. So let's see. My mouse is being funky. Probably I'm overtaxing things with all this video and audio going on. All right, so let's see. It's a little off the beat there, so we'll see if we can.
Let's leave it that way before and listen, and then.
Yeah, it could be like on purpose, right? Like, yeah. So, well, I can't really.
With everything, even if it
I can't really actually. I mean, I won't be able to slide it cleanly. It's wrong. So I'm gonna fix it. I can always undo it if it doesn't sound good. But I wouldn't be able to move it properly otherwise. So let's see. It's going to A. So might even go an octave. Something like that.
Want to try that last note an octave?
Well, why is it starting with? Oh, it's got the pre-roll.
Right.
You want to bring this note up an octave?
The very last note of the entire thing.
Oh, down here.
Right? That one. The one that's way down. No.
Oh, that's the beginning of the next measure.
Oh, okay. That. I bring that up.
What was it? An A?
I don't know.
Oh, let's undo this. Sorry, I
did want to see what that would sound like.
Oh, that was all. Oh, I see what I did. Okay, I got you. You're right. You're absolutely right. That is an E, and it can't. I brought it all. I shouldn't have brought that down. Let's see. Let's do. I fucked that up. That's why.
Just command down.
I did already. I did fix it already. I just got to bring this one back to where I want it now.
There it is.
I'm gonna try that. Yeah. All right, so let's take it from the beginning of that and see what it sounds like. I probably should start right on the beat. It sounds like that.
I like it. Okay, that's fine. Do whatever you want. Not myself.
Well, hold on. I'm open to your input.
It's perfect. With that piano. It's wow. Get that down to it.
There just something should happen there. I don't. You're right. I'm not going to move the bass, but something needs to. Maybe just a crash or a conga or something. I'll leave it alone for now, but it's something at some point. Let's try that. I know. I just wanted to clean up the note beforehand. I didn't change. I didn't change it. Yeah, I just got cleaned it up. That sounds better. I like that.
It's really like push forward.
Yep. Yeah, it's cool, man. That's cool.
Very nice.
And all that is me kind of improvising a piano on the previous track, and now taking that and turning it into a bass line. I do that a lot. I do lots of my bass lines start as piano parts or even guitar parts. Oh, well, thank you. Well, thank you very much. It's very kind of you to say so. So anyway, but that was not even why we're here. This was just a little thing that I was messing around with the other night. So I'm going to save that and go back to it. Yeah. Right on. All right, close session.
I would want to see this process how people come up with ideas and stuff.
Right on. I'm just looking to see if I had any other surprises here. I was going to record a cover of Under Pressure. It was this.
Oh my God!
I have a. There's nothing to listen to.
Let me do it. Oh my.
Yeah. Well, sure. Yeah, it's like one of these what do you call it? Briefs where they're looking. Yeah, it's one of these briefs where some TV show is looking for a cover of that song. So cool. I was thinking about recording one. So anyway, and what's this one? Bad Baby Boy. That was a bass line I wrote that you didn't like. And then,
I didn't like.
I'm just kidding with you.
I just didn't use it.
Manic Depression, Blue Shift. That's the other thing. Clarissa. Okay, we've heard all these before. So I'm gonna exit out of here and you go to yours. Yes. I'm gonna. Oh yeah, I gotta do that. Hold please. See this thing with the. All right, now you're normal.
Right.
And I'm gonna switch my sound back. I'm gonna switch my sound back to normal. So give me a moment, please. I'll go quiet for a minute. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy. Now do. Don't worry. Wasn't there like a happy fit? I can't hear you.
Now you can.
Now I can. All right. So now we're going over to Ableton.
What's going on with his hair, man?
I ask myself that all day, every day, Bob.
We were just talking about that, though. That no one cares what's going on with the hair but me. No one cares. No one knows. No one cares.
Everybody is looking at themselves and thinking about themselves, whether you know that or not. So would
you call that the spotlight syndrome?
Spotlight effect. They did a survey back when Justin Bieber was hated, and they made people wear tons of Justin Bieber shirts at this certain college. They passed him out to 100 people or more, and then at the end of the day, they did asked a bunch of the people on campus that they knew would be walking from the places where the people were wearing them, how many Justin Bieber shirts did you see today? And it was people said 1 or 0 or I don't know. Right. And yet you would think if it's someone they didn't like that they would see it.
But they're not thinking about other people.
They're thinking about what
themselves.
People are thinking about them.
That's right.
I'm gonna sneeze. Whoa.
Gesundheit.
That was random.
Hey, do you see this here?
I'm allergic to Justin Bieber. What is that? A tambourine.
It's the tambourine. You bought me this tambourine.
Yeah.
There you go. I keep it handy because it scares the cat away.
That's fair enough.
The cat likes to claw my legs.
So
I shake the tambourine to scare the cat away.
Okay. Now I shall share.
All right.
I have something like that with my dog, which I don't understand, but he doesn't like it when I open the freezer. I don't know what the fuck does he think is going to happen? Does he think I'm going to try to put him in there? I don't know.
I don't know. That's very strange.
So if he's being in the kitchen, very annoying, I'll just open the freezer and he's like, oh, fuck, I better
get the hell out of here. The freezer's open.
Pauses, and he's like,
serious shit going down.
Runs away. I'm like, dude, there's nothing in there. Maybe that's the problem. Okay, now I must find the share button and not sneeze again. Okay. I will share the screen it's on so you can see when I put the files in there.
Sure, yeah. I mean, and I don't even get the wrong idea. I love my cat, but the cat can be very annoying.
Oh
So
yeah,
it's a
I love my
harmless way
dog, and
of
I'm not
shooing
gonna
the
put
cat
him in the
away.
freezer. But
Right.
sometimes he doesn't need
Sometimes
to be in the cramped kitchen.
sometimes you need to be in another room.
Right. Exactly. Okay. Let's push this button. Okay. Can you see the screen?
I can. Can you see my vegan Easter bunny? That's what I'm
That's a
eating.
very strange.
A
That's a very
vegan
strange. A
chocolate
vegan
bunny.
bunny.
A
A
vegan chocolate
vegan.
bunny.
Nice. So it's not milk chocolate.
It
Okay.
is, I know it says Jake, the milkless Easter bunny.
Enter Jake. Okay.
Jake. Kind of
Sounds.
creepy giving him a name.
It is, and now
I
you're
mean, I'm
eating
eating him. Yeah.
the horrible vegan you are. Okay. So what we're doing right now is I'm showing the audience my new song. Bob has heard this last night.
Yeah.
I did a little more mixing and a little more fanciness. I don't know why this happened. This is the strangest song I've made by far, but it happened and I like it. So it's going to come out eventually. Can you hear that?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's awesome. That's so wild. Like the the wildest thing is how pretty it is at times. You know what I mean? Because it's fucking chaos and disturbing and crazy at times, and other times and sometimes at the same time, it's gorgeous. It's like there's some really beautiful parts in that. It's really cool. I
It's
love it.
funny because I agree with you.
Yeah.
In I don't think it's disturbing. That's the fucked up thing. I don't know what's I mean,
Well, I wouldn't say disturb. I mean, I did say disturbing. I guess not disturbing, but I mean, there's just some like real metal like
I
elements. There's some
I
real
think
kind
you're
of
talking
darker kind of,
about my favorite part.
Well,
This
there's the guitar, and of course there's like the Satan voice going on in there at one
let's
point.
do that part one more time.
Yeah, that would be the disturbing right there.
Same time on the live stream, I can explain perfectly one thing. That's the guy from Saw. I use a lot of the
Hmm.
Saw things, but
Yep.
why it's there is like I personally think there's lots of people walking around not actually living, right?
Hmm.
Like they are existing. But are you really living? Like, are you
No.
really consciously doing? It doesn't matter if you're fucking watching a movie. I'm not saying you have to be doing exciting things all
No,
the
but
time.
are you present in your own life?
But are you experiencing the thing you're doing right now?
Right.
That's why I always use that in a lot of my songs, actually.
Well,
It's
what does he say there? What does he
live or
say?
die,
Oh, okay.
right? So it's like you're actively walking around as a fucking zombie
Right.
corpse thingy.
Well,
Just
when I said it was disturbed, it was not a criticism. It was just
no,
an
I know.
observation,
Yeah.
and I stand by it because I mean you sampled the movie Saw, which is one of the most disturbing movies of all time.
How dare you,
Oh.
Bob?
It's a very very disturbing movie.
I think it is a very good movie.
I didn't say again. That's not a bad thing. Disturbing is not bad. It's intentionally disturbing.
Mhm.
It's there to disturb. So.
And also, this part is from Saw. Hold on. That, that goes so hard.
That's from
Okay.
Saw.
The laughing voice.
That's crazy.
And
Uh-huh.
also in the background of every song I'm doing, I'm just gonna I have this little bit of a reference to someone I played Need for Speed with. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. But it said I saw like in the background the whole time. If you look at that, if you look at this, it's almost all the way through.
And what's the saying? I saw him.
It says I saw. It
Oh,
doesn't
okay.
actually say that, but I like made it say that referencing a certain player. So just to
Okay.
fuck with certain people.
I
Anyways,
see.
okie dokie. Now to the wonderfulness of mastering songs that don't sound like Satan.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. So that is Kilo's new song. Now,
That's
we're
cover
gonna go and
version.
master one of my new songs,
Yes. So, okay,
"The
now
Raft."
the raft. Okay, let me think about this for a second. You can see this screen, so I don't have to
Hmm.
redo it. Okay, I'm gonna go to here. Ah, how dare you? Okay, so what I do is I go to the last song I did with Bob, which is West Side Ride. Luckily, I named it the right thing this time. Okay, let me think about this for a second. You can see we can hear me again. It's
Oh,
me.
sorry, that's me. I was
Okay,
just making sure it was working. I'm obsessed with it. So anyway, so
so what
so
I
yes.
do
So now
is I
you've
will
opened up West Side Ride, which is the last song that you mastered for me.
correct. I'll take these stems like I did up here, right? And I will Command A and then I'll mute everything and then I will put them away. I will say goodbye. Now, what I'm gonna do now
You
though,
don't delete them?
no.
Oh,
So what the see, yeah, Bob is getting to see what I no, because what if I want to reference, oh, what did I do on this thing that made it sound right?
no, I just but what I mean the audio.
No, because what if I want to go back in and listen to the bass, for instance, and
Ah,
go, okay,
okay.
where is it hitting the EQ?
No, it makes a lot of sense.
How can
I
I
would not think
make,
about that.
well,
That's crazy,
bro, the new Welcome to the Blue Light stems are right here.
right?
And then these are the new ones.
That's
And
awesome.
then now we're gonna bring in a bunch more.
This
Like,
is neat. No, I didn't realize you did it this way. This is cool. I thought you kept like the tracks as templates, but I didn't know you even had the audio still there. Like,
well,
so I
one,
do a similar thing, but like where I would like save it as a template. In Pro Tools, you could like save like let's say you have West Side Ride open, right? I would save it as a template, and then next time I could open that template up, and it's all the tracks with the inserts and the sends and all that, but no audio. Yeah, no MIDI.
right, and I don't want to do that because I want to control them themselves. Because
Right.
Bob already makes his stuff when he gives it to me, which sometimes once it's hitting his master that I'm using, we have to tweak them,
Right.
right? So rather than pulling them into the tracks that already have EQs on them, such as like the bass, I don't know, or the guitar,
That's a good point. While you're doing your
or
demo, we
what.
could say like,
So like for instance, what if the part I'm pushing down on his bass on this track that
mhm.
they never have these on them usually, but that bass we needed it, so we did it. And so what if this is not the same frequency because the song is in a different key or played
I
with
was
a
gonna say, right, different
different
key
sound,
really is gonna
or
be the
even
thing.
you just played it harder or whatever,
Mhm.
right?
I
It'll
recorded it somewhere else. I mean, sometimes I use tracks that are recorded at other sessions or something like that. You know, anything could
right.
be anything like that.
Exactly. And so we don't want to have the same people. It is not a one size fits all world. I
Right,
promise
right.
you, with this music. Like even though he's playing the same instruments in the same room with the same sounds and stuff like that. Let me just do this so I can get the stems. So I just downloaded them today so that you
Right.
don't have to see it. So now you see them on your screen.
Oh yeah, so I take and like my original session. So that's I gave him more actual stems than I usually would here, right? There's probably what do you got? There's like 15 tracks there.
Yeah, it's way
And
more than
that's a
usual.
lot more than I normally do. Normally it'd be like six or seven. And because I'd submix things, I would submix the guitars into one track or all the percussion into one track. Why I didn't here, I don't remember. So, oh, you know what it is? It's just I've got like three guitar tracks and I didn't submix those. That's I think that's a big part of it.
It
But
does.
I did submix the percussion. You can see I got a percussion track.
Okie dokie. Now we got these in here.
This is a
Now,
cool tune. This is where the song came from. I so I'm weird and I like to watch near death experience like testimonials on YouTube, like people that died and they come back and then they
that,
talk about that
you're
experience. And
definitely weird. No,
I
I'm
am
just
weird and I find that
I
really
am one of
fascinating.
those people, by the way, with the
Yeah, that's
death
right. That's
experience
right.
stuff.
We've discussed similar subjects in real life impact of them. Anyway, so I like watching these videos, and one of them I was watching. This guy was this old guy because I like the ones when it's like just like somebody like I don't ever tell anybody this, but I made a video of it, so here it is. You know what I mean? And this old guy who's just like this happened. I was like 30 years old, and I never tell anybody, and I made a video. Tell what's going on. And it was really interesting. Anyway, he was describing like when he died, right when they all have like a transitionary period. So that you die and then you go through sometimes it's a tunnel, sometimes it's a void of black space or whatever. And you're traveling from point A to point Z. And then Z is, heaven or hell or wherever you may be bound, and you meet the Buddha or Jesus or whoever it is you're waiting to see and your grandparents and hi. So on your way there,
Hello.
yeah, I mean, I'm not making fun. I'm not making light of any of it. I think
No, you
everything,
weren't at
anybody
all.
that knows me knows that I think
Perfect.
everything is probably true. I mean, that's why I watch those. I think that I don't think any one of them is right or wrong, and I think that like these are just awesome perspectives of our universe from that point of death, which I'm certain is not the end of anything. So there you go. That's my observation on that. But anyway, I was watching this one, and this guy is telling a story about how what he described he was in a raft on his way, like from he was flying through space and shit. But he's like, I don't know how to describe it. He's like, I just thought of it as a raft. I was just a raft in a void, and it was carrying me. And he was explaining the pratt. So I was while I was watching that, I was playing piano because I just do stuff like that. And I was watching, and I wrote a little song, and I wrote the tune, the raft, and I recorded on my phone, which I do all the time. And then a few months later, I was listening back on the recordings on my phone. I was like, oh, that's a nice one. So I recorded it in Pro Tools, and I started adding tracks, and then boom, here we go, the raft.
Okay, but no boom because I had to go back and do something. Sorry.
Would you break it?
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
I wanted these to be up here like this
Mhm.
rather than what if I put them all in this group? Nope, it won't let me do that. Okay, whatever. I expanded all of them with the other one in here, so I would have it doesn't matter. You don't need to know all.
Do you want? I could
I
play
did
that.
not break anything. Don't
Now,
worry.
just kidding with you, man. I could play that by the original my little demo version of the raft if you want.
Sure, I mean we're almost ready, but
Oh,
yes,
if you're ready, then don't worry about it. I was
not
just
ready.
gonna, if you had the technical issue, I was gonna kill the
I
time by
can do a
bringing up.
lot of stuff
Right.
um without hearing it if you want to do that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I
Let's
would
see.
have to unshare and then share again.
Well,
Never mind.
I would, yeah, all
Yeah,
right,
we're
share.
almost there. We're just
Yeah, just do your thing, man. I can play it
okay,
later.
we're there now.
I don't really know
So
where it
what
is.
I did, no matter who you are, please do not ever like start everything at wait, hold on, that fucked up again. Okay, hold on. Don't worry. It's not that fucked up. I just have to turn all these off. There we go. Now that everything is turned off and shut like that.
Uh,
Okay, I'm gonna show from ground zero. So we did that. Now we have all these. We're gonna pull them all in
I'll
together.
just recap real quickly. So what Kilo is doing is importing so I recorded a song. I mixed it for the most part, and then I send him 15 tracks, submix, mixed down tracks, and he imports them, and then now he'll do a final mix and master on it,
Mhm.
and it's cool because back in the day, mastering from my perspective, back in the when 80s, 90s and stuff, when I would record stuff, even professional studios had to get them mastered. Basically, when you mix, you'd mix down to a two-track mix, and usually, if it was a good studio, you'd have like down to like an inch or 2 inch reel with like just your two track. So it's this real high def, awesome 2 inch analog mix, right? Or if you're doing digitally, you still would be like dumping down a two-track mix from Pro Tools or whatever,
A
and
lot of
then
people do master two tracks. We've done
right,
that
and
with
then you give it
one
to the
song.
mastering engineer, and then that's what they would do, right? But then Keelan and I started working together, and he's like, "Well, give me the stems." I was like, "I don't even know how that works. I never did that." But so we worked on it a little bit, and now we've got this routine where I dump down. Sometimes it's just individual tracks, like this one's like 15 tracks. That's most of the song, right?
Right.
The only thing that's submixed on this is the
Percussion.
percussion. Yeah, everything else is individual tracks. But sometimes it'll be like 5 tracks, and it'd be like guitars, keys. You know what I mean? And however it works with the song. This
You
one,
can see
I
up here, if this is all that's up here that's not lit up orange
yeah.
is all two songs. So basically, this song is almost as long as two of your other songs.
Right. And you'll see though, there's not a lot. Like a lot of them are like little bits. Like one guitar will come in for like 30 seconds. If you scroll down, you'll see like little blurbs of audio there where it's like nothing. See, you're like there
Right,
with the,
right,
so that's why it's like that because it's a lot of sort of all my stuff is sort of syncopated and kind of things complementing one another.
right.
This song is a lot of that. There's barely even a lead instrument. There's a little bit of lead guitar, but it's really just kind of a groove all the way through. So.
So the very first thing you want to do is not start all your tracks at zero because first of all, you're gonna peak the fuck out of everything possibly, right?
Right.
But also, personally, why I do it is I want to have headroom for certain instruments. So if you did see up there before, I'm not going to open them up again, but if you saw the volumes of some were like -1, while some were like -4. Well, if I started that -1 at zero with all the others at zero, I
Yeah.
would be going up to +3. You never want to go above zero on your fader.
Hmm.
So I would have no headroom to bring an instrument louder if it's already fucking loud.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
what's amazing too, like track volume and headroom has always been like one of the biggest biggest basic factors in making a good or bad recording, right? And in analog, like if you had too much headroom, it'd be noisy. You don't want to, because
Right.
literally there's physical space that you're taking up, right?
Right.
And like the more sound you put in there, the less tape noise there is. That's really how it worked.
That's
So
why I use lots of reverb on stuff on my own music. Just
right,
kind of get away the crap.
right.
Really, that's why I do it. I know I'm doing that.
Yeah.
I didn't want to know I'm doing that, but I know I'm doing that,
Yeah. So,
So
and then the other flip side of headroom, of course, is if you're too hot, like and that's where you're going with it. You get back in the day, you could get tape distortion or
which we
digital
like
distort. Yeah,
is
digital distortion is
distortion.
even worse, really. It's an ugly clip.
Yeah. Okay, so we did that. Then I have this wonderfully made send that I use for Bob that's like a reverb with a very specific frequency that's then like using the monitoring button. Don't do that if you don't know what you're doing because it's not supposed to be used this way. But it gives me this really cons- consistent environment that I made for Bob. So I sent all of them, every single one that we just pulled into it a little bit. Now, throughout the process, I might not have the bass do it or whatever to put the instruments and stuff in a physical place in that room, right?
Right, and that's we should say that too because you when you say for Bob, but that's because with the beginning of when we started the blue light stuff, the blue light volume 1 and 2, and now this is the blue light after party. The whole idea of it was that it was we were capturing a band playing
Right,
live, like in a club in the first two albums or at the jazz club, and now in this new one they're playing live at a party.
right.
And so like that's why I created that's why opening sessions up with the from the previous session, and that's why comparing, what's the bass sound like this one to that one, having a consistent vibe and using compressors and EQs and reverbs that worked from one to the next because
It's
it
very,
creates that room,
it was very hard to make a studio recorded thing sound great and also not studio recorded,
Hey,
if that makes sense.
it does. Well, it's the
I
same
wanted it
challenge
to
from a
sound
performance perspective. It's the
super
same
good,
challenge.
right? And as Bob got better at the performances and more relaxed and more confident in what he was performing, it made my job much easier because I
Right.
could almost tell. Like the last song, he said, "You captured exactly what I thought I wanted without me telling you what I wanted, but it's because of the way he played it. I knew what to do."
A West Side Ride. Yeah,
Yeah.
West Side Ride came out just beautifully. Really.
So what I just did there was I copied the bass EQ from the last one, which I am going to paste on here, but then I'm going to turn it off. I just wanted to have it ready to turn it on to dip if I need to. So there we go. That's one of my first things. Now we're going to play it. Oh, wait. So there is this thing we do at the beginning of his, all of the things I master. Basically, it's EQing certain things. But on some of it, these two little nipple babies, um, I don't know what to call it. Um, they kind of mess up his percussion, but for some reason on West Side Ride, we needed them. So I'm going to turn
Right.
them off for
Right.
now. Okay. Now we're ready. Now.
The bass is very boomy.
That's what this is for.
Yeah, the bass, or there's a
That's
lot of
exactly why I'm going to
boom
use
coming
that in a
out.
second. I'm
Yeah.
looking for everything that I need. Okay, here you are, Mr.
And
Reaver.
that bass and the guitar. So if you listen, that bass is doubled by a guitar. It's like a higher guitar, like a higher pitched guitar, and it's a cool sound. But it's like there's a guitar doing what the bass does all the way through. Do 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 do
Okay,
do do.
that's probably where the boomy is coming
Well, and
from.
that's not from the boom. Isn't come from the guitar.
No,
The boom
I
is definitely the
it
bass.
it comes from the overlap. And I know I'm going to take it out of the bass. I'm just
Well,
saying
you
having that, Bob, I know what you're saying. I'm not saying I'm going to tweak it on the guitar first. I'm saying when you have, that's what a boom is
Now, what I'm
overlapping
saying is, in
frequency.
this case, I don't think it's a guitar because the guitar is very high pitched. There isn't a lot of, there's not a
Oh,
lot of
okay.
low end in the
Right on.
guitar. That's what
Okay,
I'm
what
saying.
is it? This guitar?
I
There's
don't know. Yeah, I know. We'll have to listen and see
two
what it.
guitars. Yeah.
The
Okay.
riff, yeah, the one that says guitar riff, that's the one that's doubling the bass.
Let's do this. Doom, doom, doom.
Oh, yeah. Why don't we solo it? See what the guitar's doing.
What?
Why don't we
Oh,
solo the guitar and see
no,
what it's
it's
doing.
doing great. I put an EQ on it to look and see, and you were right. It's not going way down. So now we're gonna fuck with the bass. This is the EQ that's on the bass.
Oh, I see. You're using the spectrum analyzer on the EQ to see where
Yeah.
the frequencies are. Gotcha.
Okay. Hold on.
Can you
Back.
just, yeah, can we solo the bass? I just want to hear it, just the bass. I want to hear where that frequency is with my ear. See, it's like finger noise. It's like very low finger noise. Like if you took like the real low end out, I think it would go away.
You never do that on your, but I can if you want.
I think that did it.
Okay. Do you want me to leave it like that while I continue to find where the bass frequencies are?
No, no, do what you want to do, man. I was just
No,
thinking.
I'm asking. Does that sound better to you? You're the artist.
Well, no, I
It
want you to.
doesn't sound bad.
No, it doesn't sound bad. I don't know. We're not there. You just keep going. You do what you're gonna do. I mean, if it sounds better, we'll keep it. If it doesn't, we don't.
Okay, well, leave it for now. Let's just keep in mind that that's there just in case we run into a place
That's
where
fine. But I don't want to be like my opinion. I want to just be like what sounds better is what we do. You know what I mean?
it sounds so similar to me. Like it sounds like, how do I?
I heard a specific thing that I was trying to get rid of. So
And
if
that
you
that's
listen,
good.
if yeah, if you listen to it like without the EQ, you'll hear there's there's finger noise. By that I mean my fingers on the strings,
I know.
really low finger noise, and that's what was making that boom sound that I heard. And when we cut it there, it went away.
Perfect.
And I
That's
think
what
the
I was
bass
at.
still sounds good, so I
Yeah,
think
it
it's
does.
okay. You know,
Absolutely 100%. I
right?
agree. That's why I was asking because it does sound good both
Yeah, I
ways.
think,
Yeah.
like I said, I was a shooting blind. There was a specific sound I was trying to get rid of, and I think we did. So
Perfect.
that Udu is pretty boomy too. You know what it is? I think a lot of the boom has also come from that Udu.
100%. Also, sometimes you have a lot of the low end left in some of your pianos.
Yeah, I'm sure I do.
Your organ, a lot of low end usually.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Organ's always got a lot of low
We
end. That's true.
love EQs. This one you have mixed a lot more than usual. You have a lot of more like defined.
Yeah, I
Usually,
spent a lot of time on this.
yeah.
Yeah, I worked on this one.
So this one's fine for now. That
Mhm.
one's fine. Let's see this one. There we go. We got some piano. Pianos have really interesting like ranges of frequencies. You can be playing here and there's
Oh
low
yeah. It's all,
sound.
oh yeah, it's the entire, yeah. Anything you can hear, you can play on a piano almost.
Wait, I just put that on not the piano. Hold on,
Yeah, you
please.
put it on the percussion, yeah.
Well, maybe I did, but no, this is the percussion. I did not
Right.
fuck up. Good
Oh,
job.
okay. Yeah, you're right. Right on.
Congratulations. Okay, so you, sir. Yeah. So
Oh, okay.
having that overlap here is not necessary if the bass is being a bass, right? So Let's find out if we can fix this through the piano. Now we're going to the Udu.
Can we solo the piano? Just I'd like to hear it by itself, just see what it sounds like.
Yes. Yes, we can. I don't always do it like that because when it hits the master that's this big, it
I
has
know.
the
No, I know
effect.
I know things will change. I just like to
I'm
hear things.
explaining this to your audience, Bob.
Oh, I see. I understand.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm not
That's all
telling
right.
you. I know you know that.
Right,
But
right.
I'm just telling them why I said yes, we can without saying, of course.
Right.
Because I tend to notice that if you solo it, it sounds good. Sometimes when you bring back the other instruments, depending on how the limiter thing cuts
Mhm.
stuff, it'll cut out certain things and squish stuff. So
Yeah, I do it like cooking. I sample things all along the way because I always want to hear what everything sounds like all the time. You know. See, I was looking for that. You see that about right around 100, that frequency that kind of hangs there. I wanted to make sure it wasn't like resonating, but it's good. It actually sounds good. This is the source of the song. This is what I wrote when I was watching the video of the guy talk about his near-death experience. I wrote this on piano, and I have my recording on the phone of basically exactly this. And then so I recorded this first, and then I added all the other instruments after. And it's just a real simple, like 16-bar progression, like pretty cool. I like it. Anyway, you don't have to solo it anymore. Sounds good. Oh, it's the reverb. Oh, that's kind of boomy. That probably could get some
the
low
reverb
end.
is always booming. Don't worry.
Yeah. Why is the kick drum going through there?
Don't worry about it, Bob. This happens all the time. Don't worry. If we look up there, your reverb is always cut like that.
The reverb I sent you has kick drum in it?
Yeah.
It shouldn't. I gotta fix that.
No, bro. It's fine. If you want the kick drum gone, we can make the kick drum gone.
No, I don't care. I don't care. I'm just surprised. That's all. I
No more
normally
kick
wouldn't.
drum.
Huh? Yeah, that sounds
No more
good.
kick drum.
Yeah, there's no reason for the kick drum to be in the reverb. I don't know why I did that. That's
If
just a
I
mistake.
change it now, though, it's gonna sound different than the other side because it is there in other ones. Just saying.
Yeah. I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm just noticing my own. I'm just making an observation. Going, that's odd. I put kick drum in there. I don't normally do that, or I wouldn't. I don't think I do, but I gotta be conscious of that. Not a big deal. You don't have to change anything.
No, I know. Don't worry, Bob. I'm in my head right now.
I love that little reggae groove there. It's a groovy little tune.
Okay, let's move that.
It's definitely an album cut, it's kind of a transition between other tracks. Correct.
In my opinion, the boom was coming from the reverb.
I agree. I think you're right.
100%, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Because when
think you're right.
when I pulled it back to where I would have had it before and then pulled it back, yeah, that is the boom boom.
Yeah, that's just a mistake on my part. I shouldn't be sending the kick drum because what that means, that reverb is basically it's a mix down of the reverb send, right? All the sends, like on my tracks, when I put a reverb and a delay send in there, and whatever I send to reverb gets mixed down to a track, and that means that the kick drum had some amount of kick drums going to send to the reverb on my mix, which I wouldn't normally do that,
Right.
but I did. So whatever.
Now let's see what problem childs are in the delay. Okay, that's clean.
Oh, that's cool.
That's nice. I like it.
I like that. Yeah.
That's gonna get a little bit more of that.
That sounds good, man. I still think we got to deal with the Udu, though.
Hey, what now?
I think we just gotta. I think we gotta kind of package the Udu up. I think the Udu is kind of
We will.
resin. Yeah.
I think the package of the Udu will be this. Hold on. There. Did I do it up there? No, I did not. Okay, so we're going to do
And
this.
it's tricky though because like Udu is like I mean it's mostly it's very bassy obviously, but there's a lot of high end that has a cool sound to it because it's like slapping on the thing, and so there's you don't want to cut all the highs out either, so it's like sculpting the sound, But it's this. I'll get the Udu so people know what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
So let's see here. So
Do-do-do-do.
I'm gonna do the. Let's see. I think I can do it right. So I'm gonna do the musician sound thing for a second.
Yes.
All right. I'm not in a good position, but it's because I usually do it like this. No, I guess I do it like this. So you hit this hole. It's like a pot. You hit this hole on the top.
It's an African instrument.
Yeah, it's a Nigerian instrument. And then you basically, how did I usually guess I sit like this? So anyway, when you got a beat going, I'm like backwards. I got it backwards for some reason. Maybe like this. Yeah. But there's basically two sounds. And that's a big bass sound, but if you got the mic on it, right?
But then there's the release of boom.
Yeah, there's the release, right? So when
cool.
you've got a nice mic on it, I don't know what that sounded like on the stream, but
It
this
sounded
mic,
right. It sounded like it sounds.
Oh, good. Yeah, yeah. It's the same mic that I recorded with, so that makes sense.
So what we're doing right now is I'm going to try something that I've done in the past, which is side change the bass to the Udu. So when the very first part of the Udu hits the bass, dips a bit to give it breathing room, but you won't notice that it's sidechained to it. Like I don't remember which song we did that on, but I was very proud that it actually did what I'm talking
Oh,
about.
so that's what you mean by side chaining? Like if when the Udu hits, it cuts the bass out a little bit?
Just dip pushes it a little bit.
I like that. I mean, because yeah, they don't really play together anyway, which is good. But then when they do overlap, the
Then
Udu
it
doesn't
protects
compete.
it.
Is the whole point.
Yeah.
They're not competing with one another.
Well, it is playing the whole time, so that's awesome. I love that. Okay.
The Udu, yeah, oh yeah. This is like the main. It's the kick drum. I don't even know. Do I have a kick drum on this thing? I guess I
You have to
must
have a kick drum if
because
you
I had a
want
kick
to get the
drum. Yeah,
reverb.
yeah. I
That
had a
answers
kick.
that question real easy.
But yeah, the Udu's all the way through. Yeah.
Awesome.
A
Okay,
Kilo, or SXR here bought me the Udu
I did.
last year for my
He's
birthday
the
last year.
easiest goddamn person to buy presents for in the entire world.
Just buy me
Don't have-
instruments. Doesn't
Yes, I
matter
don't
what.
have to think about it. I just have to go, okay, what does he not have yet? Which I did buy something he had this year, but it's a different size, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's right now I have two of them, but they're different sizes, so it's different tones, percussion stuff. But it could be any instrument. I don't care.
Right.
A
Right.
musical instrument of
It's
any
so
sort.
easy. I'm like, why can't everyone be this easy to buy gifts for? Okay, let's go. All right, let's look at this. Now, Bob, I'm sure you understand what I'm doing, but something that I fucking learned from hearing one of my favorite professors bitching about something overheard in the corner while these like world renowned mix and mastering engineers are like out smoking cigarettes bitching, is that people don't realize when you EQ stuff and you take anything away. So I'm not taking very much away. You're putting more volume into the other part. So I'm actually EQing right now for that reason, is
Mm-hmm.
to bring the volume to where I want it to be. So I'm not adding actual volume, I'm adding perceived loudness in the area of that sound I want.
By taking
That makes,
away things that are in the way,
yeah.
basically, you make something sound louder. So an editorial comment. So the guitar, there's like three guitar tracks, and the one get there's one you want to think about the one that's guitar riff, right?
Mhm.
That should be kind of that should travel with the bass. That's part the bass and the guitar riffs are doubling each other. They're basically playing as one instrument together, you know.
Mhm.
So so what I say there, I mean they're not next. We could maybe move them next to each other or something. But the reason I say that is like in the mix, you don't want like I don't like the guitar is like a little right now. That guitar is a little bit louder than the bass, and I want it to be
Right
kind
on.
of yeah, I want it to sound like one instrument almost, you know.
So first fix to that is since the bass is not sent at all to anything, I'm gonna unsend this guitar.
Okay.
It's good. That's remember the last song you and I know you know this, but I'm explaining this to the audience. Both of us agreed the guitar was just a teeny bit too loud.
Right.
When I came in here, I actually turned it down on that send that's doing something around the idea of New York compression, where you're compressing only the certain area and bringing it, feeding it back into the mix with like not, it doesn't really feel very reverby. So what I did was I unsent that because the bass is not being sent here.
Right. Right.
So to
Right.
make it now not as loud as louder than it
Mhm.
was before. Anyway, let's hear it now.
Right on. That's awesome. Yep. Right on.
Yeah, now it does sound like the same instrument. Also, I'm
Yeah.
gonna take it out of the. I don't want to take it out of the guitar group
What?
though.
Oh,
The guitar.
Uh,
I don't want to take it out, but
don't take it out. That you don't have to take it out. I don't
I
care. I
want to
just want it.
watch it next to this. But I'll take. I don't know. Let's listen
Why do you want it next to that?
because this is the guitar that also is playing right with it.
Yeah, but it's not. That's what I'm saying. Like that's why I was saying like that. The guitar, the one on top, the guitar riff, that really should be thought of more as playing along with the bass. Like the guitar rhythm is, if you listen to it, I'm playing like almost like a reggae backbeat guitar thing. It's not the same. I mean, they sound good together, obviously, but basically the guitar riff is playing the bass line, and the other guitar rhythm is playing the guitar part. That's really what's
Let's
happening.
listen to the guitar group right now.
Yeah. You got some kind of gate on that rhythm guitar, so that's cool.
This one.
My sounds are interesting on both guitars. They have like
Right.
gates on them and shit. They sound cool. I like it.
Yeah, this one is hella specified.
Yeah.
So good. So cool. Okay. But that's also why we do need this guitar here because it does have some of the lower tones for the guitar.
Okay.
But
Yeah, that's cool. I'm down with it, man. I
so I
wasn't
want,
telling you to change that. I just was really, what my comments were just about volume to make the volume
I
of
think I fixed it right. I
yeah,
fixed it
consistent with
away
the
from,
bass, right? If any, maybe the bass could even come up, but we'll worry about that after. I'm
yeah,
not sure if that's true or not.
no more solos.
Yeah, we won't know until we know what the Udu is. When we're done with the Udu, then we'll know what to do with the bass. Yeah, so if we could hear that sustained note, that resonant tone, that boom. Not that one. So that's I mean that could come down a little bit too, but the other there you go. Right around
Yeah,
1K.
this one.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me what you want.
Just yeah, you take your number 3 there
Yeah.
and take it down a little bit, I think.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
It's
please
it's
keep
because if you
talking.
take it's not when you take away that resonance, it still has that deep hollow sound, but it
Yeah.
doesn't boom. You know, I like it.
Yeah, I don't like doing that because when I take, I'm sorry, not what you said. I agree with what you said. Sorry, my brain, I was like a step ahead. So, Shift Command Z. I pulled this one down just a little bit,
uh,
which is a normal thing to do if it's a thing playing with a bass, but it took away the Udo feel to me.
right.
It took away that Udo oomph.
Yeah, as long as like I said, as long as when it hits the master, it's not this big resonant boom.
Right.
Because when if it is,
It's,
then I won't. Then it's too
sure.
much. You know.
100%.
That's well. See, if you wanted it, like you could. You see where it's spiking there? It's actually a little bit higher than where your one is. Like
I
your
know.
bring. So you could have that bass one up a little bit still, and just bring that resonant the do. Because the boom's not there so much.
I tell you something.
Yeah,
Let's try
yeah,
that. Let's try this.
yeah. That's cool. That. Oh, that's good. Yeah. That's awesome. Wow, you hear the whole
That's so
instrument and
right. Yeah, you were sorry. But
it's
see, people
awesome.
don't think I fucking sorry. I'm gonna bitch about people for a second. People don't realize taking away stuff is giving stuff to the instrument.
Yeah,
Like
you hear that whole instrument
we
now
literally
because we
made
took
it a
part of it
song
away. Yeah.
now by taking it away where we would want to emphasize it because those are the main frequencies of that sound, but
Yeah.
taking it away
Yeah.
carved it into the mix.
Yeah. That's
Right?
so
That's
cool.
why when it hits the master, like Bob was saying, like if you carve it away like that, it's still going to be louder
Well,
at the
if you look, because we don't take it away, we just kind of dipped it down a little bit, and dipping it down a little bit takes it's all we wanted because we wanted that sound, but I
right.
wanted to get rid of the resonant frequency, and so when it was like a little too high, it hits the compressor, hits the master, and everything, and then that takes it and kind of pushes that sound
Yeah, it
further
is
out.
the multiband compressor, and the limiter at the end. So when it's hitting that stuff,
Yeah,
definitely with low end, right? It's going to smush it.
yeah.
It's going to, don't ask
It,
me the logic behind
when
it.
it hits the what they literally call the threshold,
Right.
the threshold, the compressor.
It's
So by
going to
us
say
taking the
fuck
volume
you low
down a
end
little bit,
first.
yeah,
Right.
we're a little below that threshold. Less of our shit gets
So,
squished and
right.
pushed.
So then if you pull it beneath the threshold, you actually hear it louder in the mix.
I just said the sentence I just said was
Push and push.
I said less of our shit gets squished and pushed. That's
100% the quote of the day. Quote of the
that's
day.
terrible.
But
I can't believe
Bob
I
did
said
the
those
quote of the
words
day. But
twice.
it definitely works. You're right. You
That's
are.
exactly
Oh,
what's happening.
another thing we did that I didn't say while you were talking is I took the Udo away from that reverb to mush it in with the bass and guitar bass.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, reverb to something like that could add a lot of
It's
a
not
more
reverb,
resonant boom.
remember. It's not actual reverb. It's the room we're putting it in. But since
Right, right. It's that compressor thing there. Yeah.
we are making this whole environment specified to each instrument because you're not sitting in a room with everything directly in a line in front of you because every little instance of reverberation off of a wall should sound this much different for each thing so that it feels like it's in a place, right?
Right
If
on, man.
that makes sense. I'm sure Bob knows that, but
I do. I
yeah,
want to hear it now.
you may not know that. I want to get to this part. This is one of the easiest ones I've done. I still haven't gotten to this thing I want to hear.
Yeah,
Let's hear this and then tell me what you were going to say. I just want to make sure I know how hot that is right now.
yeah, it's a little hotter than the bass, and I don't know if that means the bass has to come up or the guitar has to come down or a little bit of both, I
Sure.
think. I think a little bit of both.
Okay. Let me hear this first. Not bad, not bad. Now,
That's
I know
nice, man.
it's not completely finished, but let's readjust this.
It's not the low. Yeah, it's the
I know,
high.
Bob. Don't
Okay,
worry.
it's that crispiness that's a little too much, I think. Not the low end on
I
the
agree. I'm
guitar.
just making sure it doesn't have when the first hits,
Yeah,
there's a lot of bass here. That's all.
I
That's all.
got you.
And it gives me an EQ into the channel so that then I can do exactly what you're talking
Understood.
about. Yes.
There you go.
And
That sounded good. I liked
I'm
where you were EQing that. That sounded
going
cool.
to do exactly what Bob said earlier. I am going
Which
to I'm going to pair this with the bass because I want to, and it'll help us.
because
What?
I want to. So
Well,
there.
that
So
yes,
screw
technically
you.
that's there's
Not your
no
idea, Bob. I want to do
no, no,
it.
no. I'm saying that because I'm not necessarily going to put in EQ or anything on the group, right?
Right,
I'm
right.
not going to group affect them, but I want to be able to watch them together.
Right on.
That
Right
makes
on.
sense.
Yeah, I know. I'm
So
just
that
having fun. I'm just having fun with
I am having fun too. This is what I love doing. I get very serious sounding,
it.
but this is like my favorite thing to do.
That's awesome. It's really
Take
the
back what
bass.
I said. I
The
am
bass
going to
sounds cool.
affect them together.
Yeah,
Sorry. This is I lied to the peoples.
yeah.
This is an EQ on the group. I'm gonna do teeny bitty
You can
push.
still hear that fumbly thumb rumble in the bass.
The
I think
fumbly
that's
rumble.
yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it's not the EQ that
Oh,
we did
hold,
before.
hold please.
Right. Oh, okay.
Now it
Right, I got you.
and now when I take that out though, let there we go. Remember, there's an Udo here that's supposed to be. I almost don't hear the bass anymore, right? Am I
Oh,
right about that? Do you
oh, I
hear
don't.
the bass?
Why don't we'll play. Well, just play the two together.
But that's not what the audience is going to hear.
No, no, but you, yeah, but I'd like to hear just the two together, and
Because on the
then I
bass,
know what we're then I
that's the
know what we're
two,
feeding into the master. Then that's what the
that's the
audience
two that
hears.
you're talking about? The bass and the guitar?
The bass and the guitar riff, yeah. It's just EQ like that. the the guitar. I mean, like the guitar's still a little louder, but it's really the bass is just the EQ of the bass is just very muddy. It's a very muddy sounding bass. That's really the problem, I think. And I don't know where. I mean, maybe it's just like being more like taking some cuts out of the bass, more precise chop, like find where that resonant frequency is. And feel like that one dude. I don't know.
Which one? Sorry, it will help me a lot. Perfect.
Yeah.
Tell me which, when you said that one, let's do that again.
Yeah, no, yeah, no. I want to watch.
Need
I want
to
to
see what
watch.
you're talking
Yeah,
about.
can we just play and then we'll watch the. All right. All right. So like the noise, right? Is at about 50K.
Yeah.
It's right around 50. Like a hard like even do if you did like a hard cut at like 50, right? Well, it's too far over. You really want to go there you
You
go.
want it up here?
Well, I just want to see if we get rid of the noise. I'm not changing it permanently right now. I'm just seeing if we can.
I know.
But see, that's where the noise is down there. That's the
Okay.
rumble. So
So
you could
right,
even cut something in
okay.
between it
So
or
right
something.
there. The, you're
See,
saying the
that's where all
rumble
the
is
noise is there. So yeah, so maybe yeah,
here.
maybe a cut in the middle,
Okay.
like, in those between those two dots or something like that might be cool. You know, like a tight cut right in there. That's where it
In
is. It's right around.
here.
Yeah, because it's right around there. So you would keep yeah, right around
I'm
50.
gonna take this away for now for my own benefit. Just
That's
hear me
fine.
out.
That's fine.
I feel as if we make this cube bigger and we push down. Hold please.
Okay. That sounds better, definitely.
It's,
I would go further. I would go a little. The noise is a little lower than that. The noise is at around 50, not 100. That's where it's actually happening. It's right around 50K. So if you did a tighter cut at around 50K, that would probably solve it. So if you kind of made squeezed it up a little in a bit, you know. No. Oh, well.
hold.
Okay.
You're wanting a second one, right? Because this is
No,
the one we already had there that we need for that spot. But if I spread it in the queue like I was doing and pulled it down, I think it would effectively affect it better. But it does. Let's
I
try what you're saying.
I'm just saying it needs a cut at 50K. That's what I'm saying. And I don't care how you do it, but if you just put a dot there and put a tight cut at 50K, that's what it needs, you know.
I've never done this on your songs yet. Let's see.
I do it all the time on the tracks before I even send them to you. I find the resonant frequencies and I cut them out. And this one I missed obviously because there's a resonant frequency there at 50. There you go.
Okay, hold please. I know it's not at 50 yet. Just let me put it like that, and then let me scoop it up, and then put it up. Is that where you're talking?
Yeah, I'd cut it a lot more though. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, a tight cut, right? Exactly. See? That's really doing it. That's cutting out a lot of that rumble.
Okay, let's hear this with stuff though, okay?
So you could even make. I know. See, I know you don't want to cut any more lows out. So, but I mean, you could even make the three cut a little wider. But that's definitely. But you could leave it the way it is, and it's fine. I mean, I definitely hear.
We're gonna use the monitoring button for the real reason it's there, not what we usually do. For now, I wanna hear this. Hold on.
There you go. Hear that? All that.
It's right
That's what
here.
we're trying to get rid of right there.
Oh,
There.
let me hold on. Okay,
It's all that rumble.
this, and then I'm gonna do this. And do this. Right.
There you go. Yeah.
Now I'm gonna do what Bob said again. That.
Yep. Rock on. That's where we want to cut it.
Right here, right.
What is the frequency there anyway?
47. I want to do
Oh,
48.
I was pretty close.
Yeah, you were. Not 47 though. It's 48. Hold on.
Oh, there you go. Look at that. Hear that big resonant boom? That's the shit, man. That's the stuff that like you don't hear it, but you hear it, you know?
Oh, okay. No. Oh, nope. 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 Quick. Nope. Oh, fuck you, Mr. Hand. Okay. Now we pull that down like that.
Yeah. Yeah, baby.
I want it to be
It's awesome, man.
a little tighter.
I'm telling you, yeah, a little tighter scope, but I tell you, that's doing it. Let's see that.
It's even down a little farther.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm very picky about getting things like this right.
I like it. I love it.
No.
The more of that we can get rid of, the better.
Found it is. It's 47.4. That's what it is. It's 47 point whatever. Let's.
I said 50, man. I'm pretty good. I said
Oh
right
well,
around
yes,
50K.
absolutely. 47, I'm gonna do 47 0 and see how it goes. No. Okay. Perfect. Surprising for that it was a very specific thing. 47.4 is where it's at for sure, motherfucker. Okay. There it is. Just making sure. That's where it is. That's exactly where
That's
it is.
awesome, man. Very
Fucking
cool.
Sure. Good
Good
job.
job.
Okay.
Yeah,
now-
we both said that. Good job, man.
Yeah, that's definitely where it is. I would not usually use a basically this is like what I learned is what's called is like combing the sound, right? So I wouldn't usually use a comby comb near a dip like this, but because it needs it and it sounds good, we're
Yeah.
gonna do it. I wouldn't suggest it because then you're pulling essentially you're taking away the peak of what you're pulling down with the two and making it a different place, right? Because now it's farther down here than it should be, but it sounds right, and that's all that fucking matters.
Right.
Now,
Well, that's the thing. Sometimes what's most prevalent in the instrument is maybe not what you want most prevalent in the final mix. You know what I mean? Like, for
yeah.
instance, like this bass line, the loudest thing is bass line. Excuse me, is the first note. Boo doo doo. Boo doo doo. But I mean, you don't, I mean, and you want that feel, but if you just had like doo,
Bob, you said it
doo,
correctly. You want that feel. You don't want that
yeah, but you don't want to
sound.
get punched in the face with the note every time.
Right.
Exactly. And that's
But I'm
exactly the
still
note we're talking
telling you,
about.
well, I want to hear it in the entirety of the mix.
What you
Just
just
saying.
get? Did you just get rid of it, man?
No, bro.
Oh, you switched tracks.
Calm down.
All right. I'm just like,
It's
all
not
right.
gone. This is just
All
the
right.
you that's doing the guitar.
I'm, you know, this Ableton business is all. That's nice. love it, man. Freaking awesome. Oh
Wait.
man, I love it.
It's over? Okay, hold on.
Simplest guitar part, but I love it. think it sounds
Come on,
amazing,
yes,
dude.
Bob.
It sounds
Sorry.
it sounds beautiful. Can we before we call it done?
Oh,
Can
I
we?
will do as much as you want. I went into the zone. The place,
Yeah,
the only,
I
the
don't really want. I
place
don't
feels
think.
so good.
Yeah, it's awesome. And I love this song, and I love the way it sounds. But I don't think it needs anything. But I do want to listen to the percussion solo just to make sure that none of the EQs are cutting any of their drums out. That's all. I
It
don't
does.
think it is. I didn't hear
By
it,
the
but I
way,
just
it
want.
doesn't have an EQ on it, though.
Right, but just to be safe.
I know,
Oh, listen to that. It's fucking gorgeous.
I know, right?
Everything like what I love about this song, right, is that there's no real there's no real lead, but it's just a syncopated groove with every instrument all the way through. I love this vibe in this song.
I fucking love that guitar in the middle.
Me too. It's like the best guitar sound ever. I love that sound. Everything sounds amazing. I love it, man. Dude, dude, I say dump it now. We should
No,
bounce it
Bob,
down.
calm down, Bob. Calm down, Bob.
We gotta bounce it down. It's perfect. It's
Bob,
perfect.
I've been doing little tweaks. Let me
I
just,
know. I'm just afraid. It's perfect. I don't want to mess it up. I want to
Bob,
set. I want to. I
I
want
will
to.
not mess it up.
I want to
But
lock it down, man.
I have to do one more thing, I promise.
All right. All right.
I'm not fucking things up, Bob.
Hey, keep in mind, this is me saying you've done an amazing job, and I don't want to reverse it in any way.
I love doing it. If you want me to tell you what I'm doing, I'm putting the drums in their own spot, and I need to go put the snare with the drums, or it will bother me.
Okay.
I
No.
know
Yeah.
that
Go.
doesn't make any sense.
No, it does. I understand.
But the snare did not get the same treatment as the two things I just did, the hi-hats and the cymbals. So, but
It's all. Hey, you know what? All that means is we get to listen to it again when you're done. So rock on.
well, yeah, I'm gonna listen to it while I do it.
Right on. You keep going. I'll be right back. I have to go.
even though Bob is not here, what I was looking at was that
I'm here.
guitar in here is very much louder at the beginning than the end. But why we're not putting, for the judgmental people out there that are like, put a fucking compressor on it. No. That's how we're getting the live sound, is as much as we can not using compressors.
Which
Right?
guitar are you talking about? Was louder?
This guitar. Well,
Oh,
it's not
was
that it's not that it's loud. Hold on. It's
right.
that this is smaller than this, which is a perfect time to use a compressor in a studio setting.
Oh, I
But
see what you're saying. Yeah,
for
yeah,
the
yeah.
critics out there, if there are any,
Mhm.
right? Why do you put compressor on there?
Yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
won't
But
sound fucking live
yeah,
if I do that.
we're not trying to make it sound more polished. We're trying to make it sound good, but but what it is. So
It
it's a
will
live.
take away the
Yeah,
performance of
that's
that
right.
part and the feel that Bob gave it. That, if you look at that and you know, that is a feel
Yeah,
right there.
That's a dude
It's a
playing
perfect
guitar right there.
full
Yeah.
feel of what he was feeling
Yeah.
with that. It's not perfectly loud the same amount, and it comes in loud, it comes out quiet. It's whoever the fuck that player in the band is feeling a certain thing. So,
Right. And you can say think about the same thing about timing too. Like if you looked at the wave file there, you could see at a couple of the notes I come in like on the offbeat on the and,
what
right? Like
is,
on the
by
I
the
do
way,
that a
I
lot on
wanted to
guitar, you know.
ask you this. What's the tempo of this song? 120?
Oh well, I would have said it
I
in
know
the
I didn't
email
even
if
think
you
about it, but we haven't warped anything or used any time sensitive effects, so it doesn't matter.
right. It does yeah, you're that's right. You're not adding a beat or anything like
I'm
that.
not.
So
No.
so
Now,
I'll
for
tell you.
people who want to know a lot of stuff, there are effects that if you do not have the timing correct, they will not syncopate to your audio and it'll sound really weird. But we're not using those, so it doesn't matter.
Oh,
That makes
I guess I didn't tell you the tempo.
it's okay. I'm going to guess 120.
It's probably 120. 120. I'm going to say 125.
Okay, it doesn't matter. We don't need to change the tempo because we haven't done anything that's tempo sensitive.
I think I've sent it to you multiple times, and each time, no tempo. Anyway, whatever.
I think you told me everything you've been playing is 120 on
Oh
this.
no, I got it. I got it. 125.
Okay.
125.
Well, we're not going to switch that right now,
Okay.
unless you want me to,
I
but
do not care.
I
We're
want
not
to.
adding
Now I think it's bounce downable. What I did while you were gone is I fucked with the snare so
any.
that because I didn't even know what the fuck that snare sounded like until I did
I
it.
think it's
But
just a rim shot, right? It's like a side stick.
it's a nice.
Yeah. So, but yeah, right. Just a little rim shot. Yeah.
So I just took the volume of it's zero point 0.7 dB, and then I sent it almost exactly 10% more to the usual reverb we're using to give it that in the box, like out of the box, in the box sound. Let's
Right.
put it that way. That is the new way I'm going to explain what we're doing. It's out of the box. No, it's in the box, out of the box sound, meaning we're
I see.
doing it in the box, but we're making
Uh-huh.
it sound like it's not in the box. The box meaning Ableton.
I see. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, and a part that's like that's a good point, right? And a lot of that mentality it translates to the instruments as well. Drums are a great example, right? So the drums, so when I say drums, I'm talking about drum kit. I'm talking about kit. I'm talking about hi hat, kick, and snare, right? And the
Right,
crash cymbals, right? So those drums, right? I play them live, but I play them on pads. I play them on.
right.
I got sticks back there with pads, and I've also got I play mostly. I just play with my fingers on the pads on my keyboard here, but I play it like a drum kit live, and then I export each one as separate tracks and then, commit them, make them wave files, and then treat them like I recorded them live. Like yeah, EQ them like a snare and a kick and everything. And I compressor, if I put compressors on it, it's like, I just treat it like it's a live instrument. So by the time Kilo gets it, that looks like, that's not like, if you look at it, if I was, so to the example, right? Look at the kick drum or no, that's the Udu. But like
That's
at any of the drums,
right.
doesn't matter. Looking at it, they're not the same one to the next. Like the volume's
Right,
different.
that's
They
why I zoomed in the
yeah,
snare, even though it's almost the same, it's not, and that's the
exactly.
natural. I think, bro, that's honestly, I think why my new song sounds so good is because when I did that bass line, what I did was I pulled the drums down that all have different velocities and then just
Mhm.
muted and threw away everything that wasn't the kick and then put it on the notes I wanted. And it's
Yeah.
all different velocities, but it works so well with the
Yeah.
kick because it came from the kick velocity.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
that's really true, man. I'll tell you, with the when it comes to velocity and using MIDI and using velocity, everybody doesn't know velocity is volume in MIDI. That's just the same thing. So, and
well, wait, kind of. It's how hard yes, it's volume, but also it's mimicking how hard the instrument was
yeah,
played in real life. Meaning, if it's
right.
a drum kit, it's how hard the drum was hit.
That's exactly right, and it does change. Sometimes it'll change depending on how smart your sampler is.
Right.
The higher velocity will actually use different samples to
That's why I
mimic
say
a
what
different
I
sound.
say.
That's right. So it's not
Correct.
just volume. You're exactly right. That depends on the sampler, right? But anyway, the point is that um, I realized that how important velocity was in using MIDI, but making it sound live, right? When I did the first Static Dive EP, the Built for Better Days, right? And
Right.
I played on I have a drum kit, a MIDI drum kit back there. Basically, pedals and everything, and I play it like a drum kit. Except I don't sit down. It's like pads and then the pedals on the ground. And I stand up and I hit the kick drum with my foot and the hi hats with my foot, just like a real drum kit. But I just play it on my desk here, and
Right.
and I like it's cool, except that what I found out is that it's not the settings on it. Maybe it's my own. I didn't know it enough to use it right, but the settings were too. It wasn't sensitive enough, so all the
Right.
volumes were the same. I'd play it, and the hi hats were just like da 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 all
Trap
the way
bass,
through.
hi hats. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And I did it, and I was like having I asked questions. It was an open source thing, so I literally went to the developer of the app and
Right.
said like, hey, I was asking him a different question, and then he wrote to me. He's like, hey, ask that, and he's like, hey, by the way, I noticed your hi hats are all like, you got this issue. There's all the velocities are all the same.
Right.
You might want to check the settings on your equipment. He said another thing too is to he's like to mimic real drums. If you listen to what a drummer does, like when you're playing the drums, right? You're playing like you just naturally hit harder with your because the high when you're playing drums, you play hi hats with your right hand, right? So you dit 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 dit
I
dit
do
playing
not, but yes.
right now. Yeah, Kilo's got a different style, but like standard drummer drumming, you a right-handed drummer, right? A standard drummer would play hi hats like this. So I'm playing eighth notes, dit, 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 like this, and then my you can't see my foot, but I'm playing boom chap boom one. So kick drum one, snare two, right? Boom bop boo bop boo, right? And when you're doing that, your body naturally hits harder on the hi hats when you hit the other drums. So you're like
Correct.
boom bop, and so the off beats, right? The
Yeah.
boom and two and one and two.
I was
The off
gonna say
beats are
definitely the kick you will hit harder.
you do, yeah, and it
100%.
just your brain just does it, and so the offbeats are softer. So like,
Right.
but and to and then but then you can so that makes it sound like a natural rock and roll drummer.
Right.
But then when you play other styles, some other styles are intentionally the opposite, right?
Right.
Like we were talking about house music, right? House music is the opposite of that. You know what I mean? It's like you got a kick drum go doom doom on the one on the four, right? One, two, three, four. And on the end, a house beat has hi hats or a snare, but usually a lot of times hi hats going. So it's
Some of the
like
coolest,
bone ant
yeah,
hi hat ant, and it's like the opposite of what a natural rock and roll drummer
right.
does.
Yeah.
And you can change all that vibe just by adjusting the velocity in the MIDI. It's
And
pretty
that's
cool.
how you get a good song like we're doing now, or my song earlier, or anything like that, is knowing what you're doing and why you do it.
Right.
Like I say, you can break any rule I tell you, right? Put reverb right on your goddamn channel. I don't care, but know what you're doing and why you're doing it.
Right on,
Then
man.
you can make whatever the fuck music you want because you know, oh, I want to make this effect. Fuck it, I'm gonna throw an entire fucking reverb right on the channel and make it completely wet. Who cares?
Yeah.
But you know why you're doing it.
Well, there you go. This song is a great example, right? So if you listen to just the piano, it's basically I wrote a little bluesy piano song. It's almost it could have been a blues song, could have been an R&B song, could have been something like that. But then I came up with that do 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 do, and and a guitar, and suddenly I had a reggae rhythm to it. So I was like do, but then I added percussion, and I was adding Latin percussion and African percussion. So it's just the mix of all this crazy shit. But like Kilo said, like I knew I was doing that as I was going along, right?
Right.
So I knew like
Right.
I'm gonna add a reggae bass line to this bluesy piano, and then I'm gonna add some Latin congas on there.
Right.
But I got an udu back here, and so I'm gonna and I literally with these things like when I got the udu, Kilo got me the udu. I watched a bunch of videos to see how guys in Nigeria play an udu, so I did it
Right.
right. You know what I mean? So at least the best as I could.
Right.
And so anyway, knowing those things and knowing like, yeah, it's ridiculous that I put this reggae rhythm on top of a blues piano with
It doesn't
Latin
sound
percussion and African
ridiculous though,
percussion. It's
because
silly, right? But I knowingly I did it. I made them all
right.
fit right. I made them sound
Mhm.
good together because I knew, what I was putting in there.
Because you knew the style of how to play the instruments the way you wanted them to be, for one, but also the way they were originally meant to be used. So that then, if you don't want to play it that way, you can change it, right? Like, you don't, Bob is not saying you have to play every instrument perfectly the way the instrument was made to be played, blah, blah, blah.
No,
But
I
if
don't do
you
that.
know how to do that, you can then change it for what you want to be doing.
Yeah, yeah,
Right? Like
yeah.
you knowing things makes you be able to say, well, that sounded cool. What did I do? Oh, I broke the rules completely. Great. I'm gonna do
Right.
that again.
For
Rather
me too, it's a double edge. You're 100% definitely what you just said, right? It's a matter of like knowing the rules so you can break them.
right,
And it's also because a lot of what I'm doing these days is like really kind of regionally, ethnically, nationally specific sort of
right,
instruments that are tied to cultures. So like out of respect, I'm going to play the congas. I'm going to learn how, if I want to play, Cuban rhythms on a conga, on my songs, then I better learn how to play a Cuban timbal. You know what I mean? And that's what I
right.
did because that's just respect. And also, I want it to sound good, and that's how it sounds good.
I mean,
So
I think my similar breakthrough on my funky funk music is once I realized the vocal is being used as a rhythmic instrument, fuck what it's saying, I funked for the very
right,
first
yeah,
time.
I know your
And
shit's
I
yeah,
was
that's great.
so excited because all I want to do is funk, Bob. You know
I
that.
know, and
Right?
you do it better than anybody, my
But
friend.
you're the one who pointed it out. You were like, they're just using that vocal as a
Hmm.
rhythm
That's
instrument.
right.
It's
That's
just
right.
a fucking drum, right?
Yeah,
And once you realize that, you don't care where you cut things, what you cut up, what the fuck it's saying. Like you're just using it the way it was originally done.
yeah,
And then you suddenly go, I'm making the music I want,
that's
you
right.
know? And
Yeah,
that's a great feeling.
and that's a lot of how I do like because I play all these instruments, but I'm not good. Obviously I'm not great at all of them.
Don't
I'm
lie to
okay.
yourself, Bob.
I'm
Don't lie
good.
to your audience, Bob.
Well, I'm good. I mean, I'm good at guitar and
If you
bass.
were
And
not good at everything, this song wouldn't happen. I would not be
well,
able
no,
to
I'm explaining
shine
though.
and turd.
Right, but I'm explaining that, right? What I'm saying is that like so I'm much better at let's say I'm a lot better at guitar and bass than I am at keyboards, for instance. That's just a fact. I am. I'm a better guitar player. But I use my strengths, right? So like I'm a good on every instrument. I've got good rhythm. I'm a good rhythmic player. I like to
Yes.
compose rhythmically. I write syncopated music. And so I play all of the instruments rhythmically. This is a great example. This song, like there's like two or three keyboards. It's three keyboards. There's three guitars. There's a bunch of percussion and the bass, and they're all just doing kind of syncopated rhythmic shit. All of them. The piano, the keyboards, back up, and they're all playing off of each
Beep,
other.
boop, boop.
Yeah, so it's a. I don't have to play. I don't have to play I don't know what's a great piano player. I don't have to be Billy Joel, for instance. You know
Yeah,
what I
right,
mean? I don't
right.
have to play like Billy Joel. I just play like
Elton John.
I play me interpreted through a piano.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
So like I just want like a rhythmic sound here, and I want it to sound like an electric piano. So I just play the electric piano and get the sound that I want.
And I'll always
That's just
go
what I
back to
do.
what Borgor said when he did a Q&A at Icon, where he was talking about how he created a very unique dubstep sound. And he was saying, like, he wanted to make dubstep so bad. He was in the army, wherever he's from, I think Israel. I'm not sure. But he had a desk job, and so he like sat there and was trying to make dubstep, but he couldn't do it right. And the sound he has is because he couldn't do it right. You know what I mean? Like
Right? Yeah.
because
He
he's
didn't.
like me.
He
He's
didn't
a
know that.
metal
He didn't know it. Right.
drummer that
Right.
turned into a producer,
Mhm.
and he wasn't doing it right, but he got a specific sound and he liked it. So he kept doing it. and
Right.
then he fucking blew up, you know, like
Yeah.
because he did him, even though he wanted to be doing dubstep, it was dubstep enough for him, which it
Yep.
is dubstep now in now culture, but maybe not back then, right? Point being, it works if you
Yeah.
just do you and you make the goddamn music you want to hear. He went, I want to make dubstep, and then he made sounds, and he said, "Wait, that's cool. I'll do that."
Hmm. Right
So
on.
that's what we are learning at our older than I wish I had learned that age, where it's like,
Well, you're
just,
a lot, you're I got 20 years on you, man. So,
I
you
know,
know.
but I spent a long time not being able to make the music I wanted to. When
Right,
it
right.
wasn't very hard to go, wait, it's just a rhythm
Hmm.
instrument, not a vocal, and use it as much as you want.
Yeah.
Right? Like basically, you know, like
Yeah.
fuck what it's saying. Anyways, I wanted to make this music long before I did,
Yeah.
but I made trap music or hard whatever the fuck that was. I
Yeah.
like that. I'm gonna make another one of those songs soon.
Now you can just do whatever you want. That, you know, and that's,
Right.
I think that when I got into the instruments and everything and playing, I mean, I've always played a lot of instruments, but when I got into really taking a lot of these more seriously,
Right.
in the last couple of years, really, that's when I realized, like, you know, I just figure, like, it, you know, if something can be done, right? I'm as capable as the next guy. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Well, so
Exactly.
why? Right, so I can do it too. You know what I mean? If somebody can play the congas,
What?
why the fuck can't I play the
If
congas? Of course
I
I
can
can. You
play
know?
the drums with one arm and
Right?
non-use non-workable legs at the moment
Mhm.
of learning,
Mhm.
right? They work now, basically, but legs that weren't very mobile when
That's
I
right.
wanted to be a drummer. It's not even that someone like me had done it. It's that it was done in the first place at all.
Hmm.
And then I was like, well,
It's the
why
reason we're friends, dude. I saw that. I saw your video. I saw you talking about it, and then I saw the video of you actually playing
that's cool,
live
right?
at a club with your fucking metal band. And I'll tell this story till the day I die. But just sit there,
You're like,
Caleb,
what?
with the, like, you know, I mean, it's whatever. You know, he's looking like Travis Barker with a baseball hat, like head down, you know, and fucking rocking. But he's
Yeah.
got one hand with two drumsticks and just it's fucking
That
killing
happens.
it with one hand. I loved it. I was like, I got to be
And
friends with that guy.
And
And
like
it's
I guess it was my I don't know why we got into this, but it was my upbringing with my friends and stuff that didn't think of me different. So when you talk about that, I think, well, I thought if Joel can play the drums, I can play the drums.
right on. That's
Right.
exactly
And
that's
so
exactly
even
right.
if you
Right.
don't have the physical capabilities
Yeah.
of doing something, if it's been done,
Yeah.
try to do it.
There you go.
Even if it
There
hasn't
you
been
go.
done, like they thought that people couldn't run like a certain there was this really crazy story of like a there was a limit to how fast someone could run a mile until this one kid in high school like broke the barrier they thought there was that no one
Right.
could do it. And
The
now
four,
people do
probably
it
the
all the time.
4 minute mile was
Yeah,
probably that
that's
was
what I'm
it.
talking
Yeah.
about.
Yep.
And people
Yep.
were like, no, no, it can't be done. And
Yeah.
some high school track guy did it.
Yeah.
And now everyone can do it, right?
That's
Like
right.
it's just a mental thought.
Probably
Like
Carl Lewis. It was probably Carl Lewis. I
some
think he might
awesome
have been.
story,
He
bro.
might have
That
been the first one
story
to do the
is
4 minute
on.
mile.
Dude, I did not learn until yesterday, and I'm just gonna go off on this tangent and then we'll listen to this. That
Right.
I heard a story about this. So there was this writer, and him and his wife were writers, right? And they lived in like a double wide trailer in New England somewhere. And like he was working at a school as like an English teacher to try to have money for the two kids I think they had.
Right.
And like he would write on his off time, but he was about to like give up on writing because he was like, this is never going to pay the bills. I need to be a man. I need to make money for
Mm-hmm.
my family. And his wife was trying to still write, but she was also pregnant, I think. And then one day she went into the laundry room, which was also his office, to write in, right? And
Right.
like saw that he had all these crumpled up pages and papers thrown away and like some on the desk and all over the place. And so she was like picking them up, and one of them caught her eye and she read it. I can't believe this is a true story. And she was like, this is fucking gold. Like, she was like, this is amazing. So when her husband came home, she knew this was something he had never shown her. And he always showed her what he wrote or said he
Mm-hmm.
did, right? Which
Right.
he didn't. But he said he did. So she like had it out when he came home, and she said, "What is this?" And and he was like, "Oh, it's not that good." She's like, "No, this is it right here. This is the
Yeah.
goal. This is your book. Like this is
Wow.
the thing that will make you make it." And he's like, "No, I don't know enough about the subject matter." And she was like, "I will help you
Right.
write this." And it was Stephen King, and the
Huh.
movie or the book was Carrie.
Oh
And
my
like
God.
that
Wow.
blew my fucking mind.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's
Blew
amazing.
my mind, bro, because I love him. I
Oh
think
my
he's
God. I
a
mean,
genius writer,
probably the most successful writer of the 20th century. I
and
mean,
he
really.
was throwing away
That's
Carrie.
amazing. That's an
That's
amazing story.
why don't listen to the
Yeah.
voices in your fucking head that
Yeah,
tell
right. Yeah.
Siri.
That's a great
His
story, man. I
wife
love it.
wasn't
Yeah.
in there, and he hadn't just thrown it all over the place,
Yeah.
all sorts of things. And it made
Amazing.
me go like, what, what is there else that we are missing out on as audiences
Right.
that people have just thrown away?
Yeah.
That that like we would be all enjoying to high heavens right now, but this person didn't think it was good enough. We wouldn't have a Stephen King if it wasn't for that happening.
So we're obligated to share our gifts with the world, is what you're saying.
And well, sure, we try as musicians or artists to do that, but don't listen to the fucking fake shit in your head.
That's right. That's right.
It might be your fucking Carrie, and you would never know because you don't want to do it, or it's not the same as someone else, or I don't know enough about. Bobby's a white man from fucking upstate New York that makes Latin jazz music. I mean, that couldn't be said better. Like she could
That's
say, "Well,
true.
I shouldn't do this. No one's gonna like it.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah." But
I
it's
thought about all those things too. I
I
did.
know, and
I thought
everyone
it'd be, I don't want to be offending people or whatever,
everyone
I
in
didn't
your
be think I would be bad at it or
position
whatever.
would do that, right? I understand that, but
Right.
also you didn't listen to the demons in your head, and you
Because none of
did
the
it
and none of those
anyways.
things happen.
Right.
I mean, and if anything, I've gotten some really positive feedback from the Latin music community,
Yes.
which is really
Yeah.
cool. So no,
Very,
it
very
didn't turn into anything that I thought it was going to be. It turned into everything good.
right.
It's great. So rock on.
So let's listen to what can happen when a white man from upstate New York
Well, this one
decides to
technically, yeah, this
that
one
jazz.
technically is a real mishmash. So that's a good point, right? So the Latin jazz stuff was definitely the Blue Light Volume 1 and 2 was
Yes.
very heavy, and especially Volume 2 was real straight up, you know, kind of like go into a club in Cuba in the 50s. That was kind of the idea of
Yeah, it was
Volume 2.
cool.
And then this one is the after party, so it's a mix of they're doing all kinds of stuff. So that's why I did Purple Haze, and we have like a couple of kind of chill out groove tunes. This one is like just, and I picture this as like the theme song to an HBO sitcom or something, not
Yeah.
sitcom, but some sort of drama. Like I picture the beginning of like 6 Feet Under or something. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Oh yeah.
That kind of vibe, and it's just like, and it is really. I was joking before, but I'm not. But it's like a blues based on a bluesy piano with a reggae rhythm and Latin. It's a Cuban conga pattern on top of it, and then the udu, which is a Nigerian percussion
Right.
instrument. So it's a cool mix of weird stuff, and it sounds great. So I don't know what style it is, but it's just
It's
groovy.
still lounge music, Bob. I can't
It's
tell.
all lounge. I'm down with
Yeah.
that. I
Can't.
love it.
I'm sorry. That's what it fucking is. Just like
All
I funk all the time, you lounge all the time.
I love it. I
No
love
matter
it.
what it is you're using to lounge with, you are lounging just like
I'm
I just
lounging.
bonked a
I'm
mellow
lounging. I love
guitar,
it.
you know?
Yep.
Okay, let's listen to it and then decide if we want to bounce it down.
Right on.
great. You want me to bounce it down now?
Yeah, the very last note is it does it just cut off like that in the track that I gave you, or is it
Yeah, I
just?
let it yes.
Oh yeah, I got you. Okay, it's cool though, right?
Yes.
That's a cool ending.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I think
A
so. I
thousand
thought,
percent.
yeah, I wanted to make
Yeah,
sure
it's
that
very
yeah,
good.
I was
What is
hearing
it
it right.
going into afterwards?
What's that?
What song is after this?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me tell you.
Okay, I'm gonna bounce it. I'm going to bounce it, and then I'll let you share so I can look at that,
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, cool.
please. Or I'll
All
unshare
right.
while I'm bouncing it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. I
Where
will
did
share.
Ableton go? Uh-oh. Ableton, come back. Thank you. Yeah. Wah, ha, ha. Okay.
Let me just say stop sharing.
Boom, bam, bam, boom.
It's a cool
Ding.
tune, right?
Yeah.
I like it.
I really like the way it ends, actually. I would not change that. I just want to make sure by listening to or seeing what the next song is.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's awesome. I thank you so much because I love the mix, the master,
That's
love the
great.
whole thing. Love it. Where's my
Yeah, it
playlist?
really
Hold on a
sounds
second.
great, great. But see, this one was very interesting, guys, and very, very much needed to do it with the artist because I never would have thought of the guitar as one of the bass
Right,
parts.
yeah,
I
right,
would
yeah,
not have looked at them together, right,
mhm,
and said, huh. Because then I looked at the delay and the guitar together because he sent
mhm.
me a delay, and I interacted the same way I would have with the guitars together, if
Right.
that makes any sense. I think I did that without talking. I don't know how long I wasn't talking.
So this is
Okay,
my mix of
that's
it, right?
you playing. Okay,
Yeah,
sorry. I was like, what happened?
that's
Okay,
funny. That's my mix. So the song ends here and it goes into Basil Babish blues. I love this one. That's the next one I'm going to give you. That's a groovy tune. So yeah, so it ends, and then I count off the next song. One, two, three. So that'll be cool. Like the raft will end on that note, and then it'll be silence, and I'll go one, two, three, and then you know.
yes.
Are you not paying attention to
I'm
me?
thinking.
You're
Sorry
not paying
about that. I
attention to
don't
me.
think very often. No, I'm thinking. No, I am very much paying.
I'm just kidding. I don't care.
No, I was thinking, do I want that last note of the organ to be longer and faded or not? And I also, then I went no. And then I thought, what if I put the word one from his next song in the end of this song? So it goes like one, two, three, four. Anyway, sorry. That's why I looked like a space cadet.
Oh, I see. So you could have it where the note is ringing out. I could say one, and then like two,
Right.
and then right.
I
So
mean, that's kind of cool.
yeah. Do you want me
Like I
to?
remember they used to do that in albums when I was a kid, like on CDs. Like they would
Yeah.
you'd be like, why is that not in the beginning? And then you're like, oh, it's in the end of that one.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I
You
like
could
that
do that
idea.
if you want to.
I like it. I like that idea.
You want to, you don't have the stems of that one yet?
I
Do
do.
you?
I mean, I got something. Hold on a
Okay,
second.
so you could, I don't have to do it now, but you could, since this is saved,
Yeah,
when
yeah.
I'm doing the next one, the
No, I
first
like
thing
it.
I will do is throw it in here and see if that works.
No, well, I think no, I want to do this. I want to be done with this song. So I like
Okay.
this idea, and I think if we could put it in there right now, you can see my screen, right?
No, I'm looking at Ableton. Hold on.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, my screen is I'm sharing it, and I'm
Okay.
gonna go to this is my Google Drive. Static. Where are you? All right. Tag tab after party. Let's see. Okay, so it wouldn't be there, but we could do it. We'd be crafty here and do this. The sessions. All right. Basil Babish Blues is the one. Audio files. All right. So it's gonna be on probably the guitar, dobro. Where was dobro? Dobro. Okay, let's see. It's probably gonna be one of these tracks here. Let's see. Open with. Nope. Let's try this one. One, two. There you go. So all I gotta do is send you this track. Copy. Now the trick is that when you do it, when we add the next one, we got to make sure they're in time, or else it'll
That's
sound
why I
like I
was
don't know how to
saying
count.
if I
One,
could have
two.
all of them, I could
Right.
put them all in here and
And then
then,
the next one just starts
know,
on the first note. That's a
right.
good idea. That's a good idea. All right, hold on a second. I like that. This is a cool idea, man. Compose. 2 kilo house. Subject. Uno, dos, tres. Attached. There we are. That's not right. What this? And where did I put it? Did I put it on the desktop? Did I just be dumb? Did I just be dumb? I probably just be dumb. Hold on. I'll just go back and not be dumb.
Are you gonna give me all of them? Is that what we just said?
No, no, no. I'm
No.
just going to give you exactly the track that you need. I'm giving you the one that's, I mean, I'll give you, obviously, when you're going to master that track, I'll give you all the stems,
If you
but
gave me all of them, it would make it easier to make it on time.
okay.
Because I could line, well, no, I'll just line them all up with it and move it over. That's fine. Do whatever you want. I see what you're saying now.
Yeah, I just to make it easy so you don't have to look for the track. I know exactly which one it is. It is Dobro 2. So,
Okay.
boom. So you can I'll give you the rest of them too, but I just figured this would be easy to just give you this one, then you had what you were looking for, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Yes.
And
I'm just
because I
being,
I don't have the stems ready to export yet.
right,
I gotta still like export. I gotta mix down the drums and everything first. So, but you can put this at the end of the current
right.
track, and then we don't have to be done with this though. There's no reason it's got to be done. I mean, we could just wait, I suppose, and you could do
No, no,
both of them
no.
at the
It'll
same
work
time.
this way too. I'll just line them up with the beginning of that one.
Mhm.
That makes sense. Like the beginning of the audio file, I'll line it up,
Yeah, I
all
know
of
what you're
them
saying.
on that one.
Yep,
You know, so it'll be perfect. And
it'll
then
be
I'll just
quite
pull them over, and you know,
right.
you already know.
I'm not sure what I'm sharing my screen for anymore.
I don't either.
Do you want to hear more music?
Yeah, like music.
What do we have left? How about that? You did Welcome to the Blue Light. You did West Side Ride. You did Columbia Avenue. And now you've done the Raft. So we got Basil Babish Blues, Clarissa. You've already done Purple Haze, Cool Cool, Unbound Bodhi. So basically, all of these except Purple Haze, from Basil Babish Blues down to Celestial Blues.
So I'm
You know,
kind of halfway done.
you're halfway done, right? Or we? I mean, we together are halfway
Right,
done.
right.
Yeah, there are 10 songs, and you've done five. So there you go.
Oh, did you send me it? Is that what we're
I
waiting
did.
for?
Yeah. Oh,
All
yeah.
right.
I sent you an
Okay.
email with a track.
Okay, cool. Now
Yeah.
I'm gonna share again, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Here, I'll stop
And
doing
we'll
what I'm doing.
fiddly pick exactly where you want it, and
I think
then
my hair has gotten bigger as this live stream has gone on. How long we've been on for hours, haven't we?
yes, yes, we have.
We've been on for hours. No
The
one's
question
watching
is,
this.
whose dog pooped on the floor? Mine or yours? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Okay, got it. Dinky, dinky, dink, dink, doo. Oh yeah, I need to. Or I can just do this for you. Not we can go now, and I can just put it in and send it to you.
We probably should. I mean, there's no way anybody's
Yeah,
gonna watch 4 hours
right.
of us sitting here
No,
talking.
fucking, I won't even watch it, Bob.
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay, yeah, I'll send you it with this in it instead of the one I just bounced down.
All right, man. Well, hey, this was awesome, and the song sounds
Yes.
amazing. Amazing.
Yes, listen to anything on HOS Records, the House of Static Records, or no, houseofstatic.com. Listen to our music.
There you
There you
go.
go.